What's up, dude?
Oh my God. I don't know why we share these, but you know what? This is part of owning a boat, and this is something that you're going to have to deal with if you have a head on the boat. Okay, you got a vacuum tank, and behind that tank is this pump, and then of course there's a toilet. You can add water by lifting this pedal, and then when you push it down, it empties, and then the tank pumps because of the loss of vacuum. Well, while it's pumping, it sends everything to the tank, and then when this tank has enough vacuum pressure, or suction rather, in it, there's a switch that's on the end down there that opens, and it stops the motor from running. There you go. The components of a VacuFlush system: you've got a water supply line, you've got a vacuum accumulator tank, the diaphragm pump, there's a switch right there, a vacuum pressure switch or vacuum switch on the end of the tank, and then of course you've got your output hose going off to the black tank, and then of course there's the base of the toilet. So we had the wonderful experience where if we turned the turn stop to turn off the water and it began leaking. So guess what? We had to change that. The vacuum breaker on the toilet, when we changed this gasket, the vacuum breaker started leaking. So we had to take the vacuum breaker all apart. That's over here. And this makes sure that no water that's fresh water that flushes into the toilet can ever go back into your freshwater system. You don't want to be drinking toilet water. So we had to take this out and change this also. So we should finally be ready to put this all back together.
It looks like it's leaking. Okay, stop.
We're showing you doing the bowl gasket job. It's a simple kit with these two rubber gaskets. All you got to do is take the clamp off. We'll turn off the water. Hopefully that's not this pump, it's a different one. Take the clamp off around the lower bowl. Pull off the two clamp halves that are underneath it. Disconnect the fill hose. Sometimes you can pull this piece straight out the back. This one's bolted in. So don't listen to the directions where it says just yank it out, you'll break it. We have a hose clamp and a barb fitting here. Anyway, once you get it off, make sure, I'm using an eraser and simple green because this does a really good job of getting everything really clean. So the sealing surfaces are going to do a good job of sealing. An indication for doing this job is that when it's pumped up, the vacuum is pulling water out of the bowl, and you come back and the bowl's dry, or you can actually hear it like hissing as it's losing vacuum. So it's not a terrible job to do. It's just, not great. Anyway, you can do it. Easy money. Putting it back together is the same thing. Just make sure you observe the pin if there is one. Silicone gasket first, rubber gasket next. Then set the bowl down. Make sure you didn't shift anything around. Put the clamps back together carefully. And you might want to observe the gaps in the clamp so that as you tighten the band, they're able to not bump into each other, but tighten up properly all the way around. Good luck. And wash your hands afterwards. Today's task is everyone's favorite. We're changing some of the hoses for the macerator, the pump out for the black tank. So I don't know what it is, but every boat I've owned, this system just gets ignored, like it's just going to keep working forever. People, I guess they think because it's below the floor, it's just going to keep working. But let me tell you, when the shit backs up, whoops, I said that, it's bad. So just take care of the system and never use hose like this, because this collapses under a vacuum. You should always use this white style sanitation hose. Just don't collapse. Very tough stuff.